Chosen one, listen closely. What I'm about to share isn't random, it's life-altering. This moment was destined, not by chance, but by divine design. God Himself has spoken over your life. He's declared that the deal is done. The payment is guaranteed. Your financial breakthrough is not coming, it's already unfolding. And it's about to arrive in a way you've never experienced before. This isn't wishful thinking. This isn't empty hope. This is a sacred covenant, a divine contract between you and the Creator. A spiritual agreement sealed in heaven that is now activating in your life. Every promise you've waited on, every prayer you've cried out, every night you held on to, faith, when everything was falling apart, it's all converging in this very moment. But here's the truth. You must recognize this shift. This isn't just about money. It's a full spiritual elevation, an energetic unlocking. Doors that were once bolted shut will now swing open effortlessly. You're not simply receiving wealth, you're stepping into your divine purpose. And with that purpose comes overflowing provision. Resources will flow like never before, not just to sustain you, but to elevate you. There is urgency. The universe is moving. Heaven is responding. But your energy must rise to match this divine momentum. Before you go any further, stop and do these 3 things. Like this message, it sends a signal of alignment. Subscribe, help us reach 1,000 subscribers so more chosen ones like you can receive this message. Comment the sacred number, a divine code, that fast-tracks your breakthrough and lets the universe know, I'm ready. If you are truly chosen, your spirit already knows this message is for you. That's stirring in your chest. That's confirmation. But if you click away now, you might miss the full revelation and the deal might not fully activate in your life. But if you stay, if you listen, if you believe, you're about to experience a level of divine favor and financial overflow that will rewrite your story forever. This deal with God is ironclad. It's not pending. It's not partial. It's paid in full. What you've carried, what you've survived, what you've endured alone, it all led to this divine transaction. This is not man-made. It's supernatural, etched in eternity, sealed in the Spirit and your name. It's already signed on heaven's contract. This isn't charity. This is compensation for every silent battle, every season of lack, every betrayal, and every closed door. God has chosen to fund your elevation, not just because He can, but because you are chosen. And the time for your reward has arrived, not in small doses, but in overflowing abundance. You are stepping into overflowing waves of glory and supply. This is not an ordinary moment, it is sacred. It's the divine crossing point where survival ends and supernatural success begins. No longer will you carry the crushing pressure of provision. No longer will you fight in silence, searching for answers alone. The burden is lifting because this right here, right now, is your moment of divine elevation. This sacred agreement from heaven includes more than financial breakthrough. It includes restored time, open doors, and generational wealth, all without the weight of struggle. This blessing doesn't come with strings attached, it comes with backing. God has already paid the full bill. The debt is cleared, and now He's calling you to walk boldly, with your head held high, into a future that's already been secured. Heaven doesn't issue casual alerts. When a divine warning is released, it means something urgent, massive, and life-altering is on the move. This isn't just a blessing, it's a strategy. A supernatural shift is being made to change the entire trajectory of your life. The heavens are opening a flow with your name, your purpose, and your promise written into its blueprint. This moment isn't about waiting for money to arrive. It's about stepping into a realm where money responds to your anointing. The overflow you're about to experience isn't tied to effort, it's tied to alignment. Heaven's only requirement is your yes. That's it, and with that yes, everything changes. Here's the warning. Do not miss this moment. Don't let fear, doubt, or distraction pull you out of position. What's being released now isn't just income, it's impact. It's wealth with a mission, provision with prophetic purpose. God is unleashing angelic movement and miraculous finances that cannot be explained or traced by natural systems. You're stepping into a level of provision that exists far beyond paycheck to paycheck thinking. Overflow means more than enough to fulfill your calling, to bless others, to build legacies, to rise and take territory. This isn't just the end of struggle. It's the beginning of stewardship at another level. Heaven has already finalized the paperwork. The deal has been authorized by divine authority, signed by the Most High, and marked effective immediately. Your breakthrough is not in process. It's not pending. It has been released. What happens next is not based on man's approval. It's based on your spiritual readiness. The contract is drawn. The payment is assigned. Your financial future is already shifting into the supernatural. Doors that were sealed shut for generations are unlocking now. Resources that were once blocked are being rerouted straight to your hands. Your name is being spoken in rooms you've never entered. Your spirit is already sensing what your eyes haven't yet seen, because this isn't just physical. This is heaven-driven, and it's designed to move fast, undeniably, completely, supernaturally. God is ready to do in 1 week what you couldn't do in 10 years. So the question is no longer, how will it happen? The answer is, it already has. The atmosphere has shifted. The season of waiting is over. The time of walking in fulfillment has arrived. From this moment on. What was delayed will be delivered, and what was withheld will be released, not someday, but today. No more wondering, no more questioning. The divine account has been cleared. The approval has been stamped in glory, and now it's your turn. Your tears have been counted, your pain recorded, and the payment transferred directly from heaven's treasury into your destiny. This isn't speculation. This isn't delay. God himself has approved the transaction. What's about to unfold in your life will defy human logic, because it didn't originate from this world. This is a supernatural settlement, an overflow sourced from eternity, not economy. Everything you thought was lost is being returned, multiplied, matured, elevated. The missed opportunities, the failed promises, the doors that slammed shut. God has tallied every cost. He's not only repaying you, he's adding interest. Your financial reality is about to reflect what heaven has always seen. You are royalty. You are no longer bound to limited income, temporary relief, or unstable sources. Your source is God, and he doesn't pay in fragments. He pays in full authority, full favor, and full overflow. And this time, you won't have to chase it, it's going to chase you. You're not waiting on the shift, you are the shift. It's already happening around you, through you, and for you. This is not another uphill battle. This is a divine lift. The God of all creation is personally funding your elevation, and he's doing it in real time. The story of barely enough ends here. The narrative of financial survival is being rewritten by the one who holds galaxies in his hands, and now he's placing overflow into yours. But this isn't just about money. It's about momentum. Your ideas are being anointed. Your vision is being sponsored. What once required all your strength will now move with supernatural ease. Your hands, once stretched thin to survive, will now fund visions, ministries, businesses, and breakthroughs. What you once lacked, you will now carry in abundant excess, not for pride, but for purpose. You are not just being blessed, you are being positioned to bless. From broke to bankrolled, from overlooked to overqualified, from hoping for help to becoming the help. And this time, you won't fall back. Because every once in a generation, heaven releases a moment, a divine interruption that changes everything. And this is that moment. God is announcing the wealth agreement that shifts bloodlines, breaks cycles, and renews futures. This is more than a deposit, it's a divine inheritance. The angels are on assignment. The gates of supply are open. The atmosphere is active. And heaven is watching you step into what you've already been promised. This isn't about what you earned, it's about what you endured. The spiritual ledger has been reviewed, and God has decided it's time for you to be publicly rewarded for what you've privately survived. You didn't give up when others did. You held on when there was no visible reason to, and now the King is stepping in. He's not negotiating, he's enforcing, and what once resisted you must now release to you. The blockage is breaking. What once stood in your way is becoming a highway. God is clearing the path, slicing through red tape, tearing down every restriction, and flipping closed signs into grand openings. This isn't just a financial upgrade. This is a life redefinition. Stop everything because God is starting something no devil can stop. This is not a seed you must wait to grow. It's not something to cultivate or pray over for years. This is a supernatural settlement. And when heaven settles a case, it does so fully, finally, and publicly. You're not in a testing season anymore. You're in a compensation season, and this compensation, it will not be subtle. Every silent loss you carried, every betrayal you endured without revenge, every promise that seemed to slip away while you waited faithfully, God has calculated the cost, and heaven's verdict is in. You win. This isn't karma. This is divine justice. And God doesn't hand out partial settlements. He delivers full restoration, with heavenly interest. This is where warfare ends and wealth begins. This is where you stop asking, "Did God see me?" Because now, He's responding with power so undeniable, even your enemies will bear witness. You're not about to plant and hope, you're about to harvest from a field you didn't even sow, because this was years in the making. This is transfer season. Resources are already being rerouted. The money, the partnerships, the contracts, the land, all of it is moving toward you, carried by divine dispatch. The delay is over. The divine deadline has arrived, and your appointed time. It's not next month. It's not tomorrow. It's now. This is not about asking. This is about receiving. What's coming wasn't even on your radar. You didn't ask for it, but God assigned it to your name. He's pulling from unexpected places, using unknown people, and opening unseen doors you never even knocked on. You're about to receive miracle deposits, supernatural refunds, prophetic connections, and open portals of favor that carry your purpose forward at divine speed. God doesn't move according to your timeline. He moves by heaven's clock. And right now, the alarm has gone off in your favor. This is not wealth you chase. This is wealth that overtakes you. It will find you mid-step, with no need for paperwork or persuasion. It will come with peace, confirmation, and undeniable evidence that God is behind the move. This kind of blessing, only heaven can orchestrate it. God didn't ask for permission. He didn't consult opinions. He decided. And when God decides, no man can delay. He's not negotiating your next level. He's enforcing it with divine authority. Your promotion is not political. It's not based on status, fame, or favoritism. It's rooted in divine timing and undeniable purpose. Every room that shut you out, they will soon be required to make space, and every voice that once counted you out will soon be forced to speak your name. Those who once silenced you will soon watch you speak with authority. Because the elevation you are stepping into isn't built on opportunity, it's built on obedience. When heaven promotes, it doesn't whisper, it thunders. It doesn't hide, it reveals, and it doesn't delay. When God moves, it happens suddenly, publicly, and so powerfully that even your enemies will have no choice but to say, "This was God." This promotion will not be subtle, it will not be small, and it will not be reversed. God is placing you in rooms your resume can't explain, positioning your name on the lips of decision makers who didn't even know you existed yesterday. Because when heaven forces a promotion, no policy, no person, no power on earth can stop it. This is your enforced elevation. Walk in it with boldness. The language of lack is being erased from your life. The mindset of just enough is being dismantled. You're not scraping by anymore. You're crossing into the land of overflow. Not through hustle, not through struggle, but through divine deal activation. Heaven has already said yes. The shift isn't on its way. It's already happening. This isn't just about having more. It's about being trusted with more. God is reshaping your financial identity. You are no longer the borrower. You are no longer the struggler. You are now the builder, the blessed lender, the legacy maker. This shift will be visible. It will be loud, and it will be undeniable. Your abundance will testify of God's hand. You've graduated from survival, passed the test of contentment, and now heaven trusts you with expansion. This isn't a temporary breakthrough. This is permanent transformation from not enough to more than enough. The divine deal is sealed. It is active, and it is irreversible. Something supernatural has taken place, not in theory, not someday, but in the spirit right now. Heaven has deposited directly into your destiny. This isn't an earthly transaction. It's not bound by inflation, interest rates, or human logic. This is a divine wire transfer, a movement of wealth, wisdom, favor, and strategy, orchestrated by God Himself. You've now entered a realm where your calling is fully funded. The dreams you shelved because of lack, the visions you postponed due to limitation, heaven is now resurrecting them with power. What looked like delay was really divine protection. And now that your appointed time has come, everything that was withheld is being released all at once. This is not just material. This is spiritual, generational, and territorial. Heaven isn't just blessing your hands, it's empowering your entire bloodline. Overflow is your new normal. Lack has expired. Doubt has been evicted. You've just stepped into a reality that changes everything that you are, where you're going, and what you're called to do. And God, He saw every tear, every sleepless night, every moment no one else noticed, and now He's answering in full. Every betrayal that broke your heart, every delay that made you question if the promise would ever come, God was watching, and heaven was recording. Now, the time of reward has arrived, and understands this. God does not repay lightly. He repays with power. You stayed obedient when it hurt. You forgave when fighting back would have felt easier. You walked forward when your strength was drained. That wasn't weakness, that was warfare through worship. And now, the commander of heaven's armies has stepped onto the scene not to reward you with a bonus, but to deliver what is rightfully yours, earned through relentless faith. This is not random, it is righteous. God is executing justice over your life, and his repayment is coming in visibility, in resources, and in honor. The same mouths that mocked your waiting will now witness your wealth. Your scars are turning into receipts, and your season of silence is being replaced by a public display of divine favor. Right now, though unseen by human eyes, angels are moving on your behalf, not just to shield you, but to release provision. They've been assigned to hand you keys, unlock vaults, and bring divine partnerships to your door. This isn't ordinary favor, it's uncommon, undeniable, and unexplainable. Heaven's army has already gone ahead to ensure you're not only positioned but resourced. You won't have to hustle for your next breakthrough. You're now under supernatural management. Divine messengers are overseeing your assignment to make sure it receives full funding from the throne of God. This kind of favor isn't something you can earn, it must be revealed. And now, the veil has lifted. You're about to walk into rooms you've never entered, sign papers you never imagined, and receive confirmations from places that were once sealed shut. The angels have gone before you. All that's left is to follow the favor. Time is no longer your enemy. You're not behind. You're not late. You've been preserved for acceleration. Heaven doesn't measure by clocks and calendars. It moves by obedience. And now, what took others a lifetime to build, God will cause to fall into your hands in days. This is divine speed. A wealth move that bypasses logic, overrides resistance, and cancels delay. Your faith has created a supernatural shortcut. More detours, no more dead ends. You are now being propelled by the hand of God himself. Your journey won't look like anyone else's because your story isn't man-made, it's heaven-designed. This momentum will lift you above limitation and launch you into places where your name has already gone ahead of you. Right now, strategies, promotions, contracts, and kingdom partnerships are aligning because God has flipped the hourglass. The waiting season is over, your time has come, and it's moving faster than you ever expected. There's been a shift in the spiritual economy, and your name has just been added to the divine payroll, not as a worker, not as a receiver of handouts, but as a kingdom distributor. God isn't just blessing you, he's backing you. You're not surviving off scraps, you're being handed heaven's paycheck, and that check comes with purpose. The assignments that once looked impossible, now they're manageable because heaven has added a budget to your burden. Your bank account will no longer reflect struggle, it will reflect assignment. Every dollar coming to you will be connected to destiny. Every transfer will be a testimony. People will see the numbers, but they won't see the nights. They'll notice the blessing but never understand the breaking it took to get here. That's why your next testimony won't be just about wealth. It will be about God, the one who took your brokenness and turned it into abundance. The divine payroll has hit, and soon you'll carry undeniable evidence that you have been chosen. You're entering a season where you'll walk into business opportunities you didn't qualify for, sit at tables you weren't invited to, and receive approvals you never requested because God owns the whole building. You are knocking on doors, not realizing you already had the master key. Favor. These doors aren't opening because of who you know, they're opening because of who you're connected to in heaven. These aren't natural doors, they were designed to open only in the presence of the obedient. This isn't just about business, it's about kingdom strategy. God is assigning your hands to wealth-generating movements, global projects, and blueprints that will create multi-generational impact. This is the era of divine ownership. No more renting ideas, no more surviving inside someone else's system. Now, you become the system. God is making you the lender, the investor, the founder, the creator. You won't just enter new markets, you'll own them. Because when heaven opens a door, no man, no devil, no delay can shut it. This isn't a wish, this isn't charity. This isn't you trying to force something to happen. This is your inheritance, and it's time to accept it. You were never meant to beg, you were born to build legacy. What's being released now isn't a gift from man, it's a transfer from heaven's estate into your hands. Your inheritance is not based on your background, your resume, or your reputation. It's based on your position as a chosen one. The moment you aligned your life, heaven stood behind you. This is not God rewarding effort, this is God honoring identity. You are not chasing provision. You're now receiving what was written in your scroll before you were even formed in the womb. No more striving, no more asking for validation. God saw your worth. God wrote your promise. God approved your release. And now God is delivering it. Every spiritual heir has an appointed moment for inheritance, and your moment is now. Stop asking for what's already yours. Start walking in it. This is the moment when your legacy begins to manifest. Heaven is not waiting on your perfection. It's waiting on your action. This is not the time to stay still in fear. This is not the season to play it safe. The vault is open, but it requires your movement to release the flow. This wealth transfer is not passive, it is aggressive, and it responds only to those bold enough to move by faith, not by sight. There are millions assigned to your name, and they're waiting on your yes. Heaven cannot finance passivity. The angels are waiting. The harvest is ready. But the key to release is movement. You must take the first step. Provision does not precede purpose, it follows it. When you move in bold obedience, the resources move toward you. This is not a season of hoping. This is a season of walking. Divine money is attached to your motion. Miraculous funding flows to those who dare to step where logic says wait. This is your command to rise. God is not just watching your belief, He's watching your motion. Speak the vision. Write the plan. Take the step. When God sees aggression, wrapped in obedience, He responds with overflow. What you couldn't earn through effort, you will now receive through alignment. Heaven moves when you move. This is not hype. This is not emotional motivation. This is a divine summons from the courts of heaven. The word has gone forth. It will not return void. This is not a suggestion to try harder. This is a call to step into your authority. You've been called, you've been chosen, and now you are being released. The days of waiting for someone to notice you are over. God already saw you. He validated you. He authorized you. And now He is releasing you. This season, this wealth, this favor, this elevation is not about comfort. It's about kingdom responsibility. Chosen one, your mantle is heavy, but your grace is greater. God didn't rescue you to make you rich. He rescued you to make you impactful. But yes, the riches will come, not as identity, but as tools for kingdom work. Rise, not because you feel ready, but because it's time. Rise, not because you feel worthy, but because God has spoken. Provision is no longer your pressure. It is heaven's responsibility. God never told you to figure it out. He told you to trust Him. What's about to be released in your life will not make sense to logic, because it didn't come from logic. It came from God. You've been stressed trying to calculate. Where will the money come from? How will the door open? How will the next phase be funded? And God's answer is simple and final. That's not your job. That's mine. Your job is obedience. Your role is trust. Provision is heaven's assignment, and heaven never delivers. God funds what He calls, and what He is about to fund in your life will be so miraculous, so undeniable, that it will silence every voice of doubt, even the one in your own head. Stop trying to control what only God can command. The source is not your job. The supply is not your stress. The flow is not your fight. This is divine funding, and God never runs out. There are moments in the Spirit when heaven sounds an alarm, not to warn, but to awaken the chosen, and this is one of those moments. The bells of destiny are ringing over your life, signaling the time to access what's been unreleased, untouched, and locked up until now. You are no longer called to wait. You are being summoned to receive. For years, certain things have been hidden, reserved in heaven's treasury for an appointed time, and this is that time. What others could not access, you are now being permitted to open. What seemed like delay was actually divine protection for this very day. Today is not ordinary. The alarms of heaven have been triggered in your favor. The vaults of heaven are open. The angels are already moving. The access has been approved. There are blessings that weren't denied, they were delayed for a higher purpose. Heaven was waiting for your divine maturity. And now, because you've passed the test of time, character, and silent obedience, everything that was withheld is no longer waiting, it's rushing toward you at the speed of your faith. The alarm didn't just sound over you, it echoed through generations, You are unlocking inheritance, not just for yourself, but for those who came before you and those who will come after. What was inaccessible to your ancestors will now become visible through you. You are the access point, the divine link between heaven's release and earth's need. The sound is still ringing. The heavens are still open. Now is the time to respond with urgency and step with boldness. This is your call to access what eyes have not seen and ears have not heard. This is deeper than wealth. This is the reconstruction of your spiritual DNA. This is not just financial freedom, it is generational liberation. The chains that held your family, the addictions, the poverty, the silence are snapping right now. The ceiling that limited your bloodline has shattered. What held your father? What broke your mother? What silenced your grandparents ends with you. The curse stops here. You are not operating from your natural bloodline anymore. You've been grafted into the covenant of Abraham, the wealth of Solomon, and the favor of Joseph. Your DNA has shifted spiritually, eternally, and irreversibly. That's why the warfare was so intense. The enemy wasn't just attacking you, he was trying to preserve the curse. But the curse is over. The repetition of sickness, sabotage, and scarcity is now being replaced with structure, strategy, and supernatural flow. Your children will not carry what you broke. You now walk under covenant economics. Heaven has given you legal authority to move in divine prosperity, supernatural healing, and unshakable stability. You're no longer fighting to win, you're enforcing a victory already written in your name. The curse is cancelled. The covenant is active. This isn't just about you being blessed, it's about God using you as a blueprint to break broken systems and rebuild nations. You are not being raised to fit in. You are being fashioned to disrupt, to rebuild, to redefine. You are an economic weapon in the hand of God, not just called to prosper, but to pioneer. He is training your hands for wealth warfare. He's giving you strategies, innovations, blueprints, and business models that will collapse demonic strongholds in cities, industries, and nations. You are not here to mimic what exists. You're here to manifest what has never existed. You are the interruption the system was never ready for. God isn't just giving you money, He's making you money in motion. You will be a walking ecosystem, carrying ideas, attracting investors, and awakening collaborators. Kingdom partnerships are about to orbit around you, not for popularity, not for vanity. This is not influence for influence's sake. This is influence for divine impact. You are being sharpened in secret, not to stay hidden, but to cut through the noise in public. This is why you feel the stretching, the testing, the late nights, and the lonely decisions. God is not punishing you, He is forging you in fire, not to weaken you, but to harden you for battle. When you emerge, systems will shake, institutions will fall, and heaven will fund every step of the revolution you were born to lead. You are not soft, you are sharp. You are not late, you are loaded. You've been asking why the attacks keep coming, why the setbacks feel so personal, why the opposition shows up out of nowhere. Here's the truth: you are a threat to hell. Your destiny has a target on its back. The resistance you face, it's not proof you've missed the mark, it's confirmation that you're marked. The enemy doesn't waste ammunition, he only fires at what he fears, and the level of pressure you've been under, it's evidence of your inheritance, your influence, and your unstoppable assignment. You're not just living, you're disrupting. You're not just existing, you're intervening in dark agendas, and that alone makes you dangerous. The battle is personal because your breakthrough is prophetic. But here's the shift: you're no longer fighting alone. You are now backed by angelic armies, prophetic promises, and divine power that cannot be shaken. Every arrow fired at you is now being returned with fire. Every setback is turning into a divine setup. The pressure wasn't to crush you, it was to brand you. You now wear heaven's seal. You carry a kingdom blueprint. You walk in divine authority, and this warfare, it will end in worship, the target on your back. It will soon become the platform beneath your feet. You are not under attack. You are under divine advancement. What used to take months will now take minutes. What felt delayed is now being accelerated. God is doing a quick work, and everything around you is about to shift. This is the era of divine speed, and it's moving faster than your past pain. Heaven is not limited by earthly time. When God says now, the natural world must bow. Documents, diagnoses, decisions, and delays all being reversed, reissued, and restructured in your favor. Suddenly is your new pace. One moment you're overlooked, the next you're in overflow. That's why the pressure was so intense. Rapid response requires rapid preparation. What looked like stagnation was hidden acceleration. God wasn't making you wait. He was winding you up for the launch. And now that moment has come.